Bear with me, okay? We're gonna get a little crazy tonight. But I was thinking, and I was thinking about all the things that we don't know. And I realized that we don't know enough for me to be comfortable. Like, what's going on here and why don't we know about it yet? So let me walk you through all of the things that we don't know. We don't know truly how the universe was made. Like, of course, we have our guesses and stuff. If I had to personally say something, guys, I don't know how it started from something when there was nothing. Like, if there was nothing, then how could it have started from something? I don't know. Like, I'm just imagining in my mind like a tiny little particle, and then boom, something happens, something scientific happens, and it explodes and it created the universe. Like the Big Bang or whatever. But like, if there was nothing, then how was there something? Or was everything dormant? I don't know. But like, first of all, we don't know that. Second of all, I mean, it's just not adding up. Like, okay, the time that it has taken to like form the solar system, it's been probably trillions of years, right? So I mean, over time, things slowly build up. You pull a little bit more hydrogen, you pull a little bit more helium, whatever, nitrogen, whatever, and I guess it makes planet. I also always think it's so interesting how things in the solar system always seem to form into spheres. You see no sharp angles. And everything has a center. Everything has a gravitational center, even if like there's no gravity. I always found that interesting how everything loves to stick together, like, how water likes to stick together and stuff. We don't know enough about the universe, how it started. We don't know enough about Earth, and we don't know enough about other life forms. We don't know enough about what's in our oceans, but we also don't know enough about animals that are roaming among us. We also don't know enough about humans, and we also don't know enough about extraterrestrial life. We don't know enough about extraterrestrial life. How do we not know if there's somebody out there? My personal theory, there is somebody out there. There is something out there. There is at least life, and I think there is more intelligent life than us, because the universe is so unfathomably big that I think it is one short of impossible for us to be the only living beings with higher consciousness in the entire universe. Like, it's just not true. The possibility of that happening is less possible than there being more life forms. Because if it can happen once, then it can happen again. I feel like there's really no singularity, rarity like that. Like, there's always a possibility for something. The possibility is never zero. And I always believe that. The possibility is never zero, so the possibility is never zero. Like, there's human life, and even if it's like a trillion zeros, 0.1% possible, it's possible. Let's talk about human and consciousness. I was thinking, I was like, what does consciousness look like? What does the soul look like? Do we have souls? Is that something people made up? Like, is that not actually an organ? I don't think it's an organ. But like, how did we so-called evolve from monkeys? How did monkeys evolve from amphibians? How did amphibians evolve from the first freaking creature to walk on land? Like, when you think back, it's like, how did it all start? How did it all start? How did the freaking tiny animal, bacteria, form from a whole bunch of particles in the air? How did the particles in the air form the earth? How did the particles in the universe form the earth? And somehow it led to something as interesting and complex is human consciousness. I was just taking a crapper on the toilet. It was a stinky one. That was none of your business. But I was thinking, the human body is so complex. Your poop tells you so many things about you. The consistency, the color, the blah, blah, blah. All of these things about your poop tell you about your health. The way that you smell. Like, all of these functions of your body, it seems like a very thoughtfully crafted, almost every single possibility thought out, except for some of the things like that are a little bit impractical. Like, I think feet are completely impractical. Like, they don't work as good as they should. For people who for things that exclusively use 2 feet, feet don't work as good as they should. That's just my qualm. Like, I've always thought about that. Like, that's so stupid. But like, other than that, the human body, think about everything that we do. You're pumping blood every second of every day. Your lungs, you don't have to remind yourself to breathe. Like, your brain is so complex. It's so complex. Your eyes are so complex. Every single part of the human body, every single thing that the human body does is so complex. It's so thoughtfully crafted. It's so thoughtfully crafted. And it's like, how did that happen? How did that happen? And I think the easy answer to this would be, it's God. But I don't believe in a higher power. I believe, no, because low key, when I think about it like this, I'm like, something has had to make this. Like, it's all too complex for every single thing to be an accident. But then I think about it and I'm like, out of all the possibilities, this could be one of them. So it could very well be a very, very complex accident. Just as easily as our eyes could close sideways, but everything else stay the same. Like, it's a possibility. Just like that. That was a Gumball, Amazing World of Gumball reference if you didn't get that. Anyway, I don't believe in God, but I somewhat think I believe in a higher power. I don't believe in the Christian God. I don't believe in any God that is like of any major religion. I think that if we do have a God, it's not a benevolent God. It's not an all-knowing God. I think it's a neutral God. I think it's a God that doesn't play by the morals of humans, especially since all of our morals are so wildly different and shaped by our life experiences. I think that we as human beings with our morals, values, belief systems would see the God as a completely neutral party, if there is one. And I was thinking, and I was like, what if the God that we're talking about is ourselves? And I had a really good train of thought that where I was going with that, but I completely lost it. Like, I was thinking about how they say God, like, it says, okay, I don't know, but I was thinking, what if we are our own gods? Everybody is their own God. If we create our reality and all this stuff, like, I'm low-key rambling, but if we like, okay, I found it. I found my thought. If we are just projecting our lives, because we are, every single thought that we have, every single thing that we do, practice, routine, is shaped by all of the things that would have happened before us, all the things that we couldn't control. You know, we live where we live, we couldn't control it. We were raised how we were raised, and we experienced things we experienced that shaped us, right? We perceive the world all differently, and we perceive the world how we specifically perceive the world. How you specifically perceive the world, I would never be able to do. And so what if we are our own gods? Like, we're making the world around us. You might see this color over here and think it's red, but to me, this looks like vanilla cream, right? But to you in your life, because of your life experiences, you were always taught that this color was red. I was always taught this color was vanilla cream. So what if God is everywhere and in everything? What if God is just in everywhere and everything in every single one of us? So that's the tea on that. That's the point I was trying to make with that. But back to the story. The human body, the universe, the concept of that, the concept of Earth in general, all of these concepts are so complex. And I think that religion is just a way for human beings to make sense of all of that, because once you start thinking of it, you're like, bitch, none of this makes sense, and bitch, none of us got an answer. None of us have an answer for that. Like, scientists spend their lives trying to find answers and they still haven't found nothing. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense, and it is frustrating. And the fact that our brain is so complex, but there are still things that we can't comprehend. Like, we will never be able to comprehend the size, the sheer mass of the universe. There are things that we can't comprehend, and our brains are arguably the most complex thing that we know about to date besides the universe. What if inside of our brains, just throwing things out here now, we're talking off of each other? It's a talking board, even though you haven't said anything yet. What if our brains are all just mini universes? Hey. If that concept becomes trademarked, I did it. Okay? But I think I'm done. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. It's just, I was thinking about it and I had to get it out. Like, none of it really makes sense at all. I don't see how it all goes together. How did we go from the asexual bacteria to the bacteria doing mitosis, and the mitosis is having sex, and now all of a sudden we're human beings with consciousness? Just seriously think about the complexity of your body for a second and tell me that you came from something that you can't even see. Like, something that is so ancient and you can't even see it, and was probably carried here on a damn asteroid. And because of how complex I am, because of how complex the universe is, I'm inclined to believe that the perfect series of events are happening. And that's why I'll never kill myself, no matter how many times I say, because so many things, so many instances, so many choices, an unfathomable amount of things had to happen for me to be here experiencing this moment. And maybe there isn't a reason, but the human in me says that there has to be a reason. Like, no way everything happened in the way that it happened, that I'm sitting here on this beanbag talking to this phone, alive and well. No way everything worked out to have it work out this way, for it to be meaningless. But hey, maybe that's the absurdity of it all. Maybe it's actually meaningless. But more of the story, nothing makes sense. Never kill yourself.